Hello everybody, King of New Anglia here, and this video was requested by YouTuber Domo Daly, and forgive me if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I just showcased all the Thomas VHS, my collection of Thomas VHSs. I'll do that. First, we'll start with the first one I ever remember. It's called Racers and Runaway. This is the first one I ever remember watching. It's by VCI. Approximately 100 minutes. And the episodes are in order: Percy runs away, Dirty Object, Down the Mine, Thomas, Percy and Cole, Cows, Percy and Harold, The Runaway, The Close Shave, Better Late Than Never, Break Van, Percy's Predicament, Gordon and the Famous Visitor, Toby's Tightrope, Escape, Oliver Owns Up, Four Little Railway Engines, Steamroller, and Train Stop and Play. So you've got Ringo Starr and Michael Angelis on this one. And also, people say that season 2 is their favourite season. Simply, excuse me. People say that season 2 is their favourite. Mine is personally season 3, and we'll get onto that a little bit later. They say that season 2 is their favourite simply because of the Duck Diesel trilogy. Trouble is, this is the first VHS I remember watching. It was the first, and I would watch it full a lot of times. So I'd watch A Close Shave, and none of the VHSs I've got here has the other two. So I watched the climax of that trilogy before I watched the previous episodes. I think that's one of the reasons why I don't have season 2 as my favourite. Next are a few other videos. Then there's the Trust Thomas, which Brand New Adventures of Thomas and Friends. Michael Angelis. It's got Henry's Forest, Trouble with Mud, No Joke for James, Thomas, Percy and the Post Train, one of my favourites. Trust Thomas, Mavis, Tightrope, Edward, Trevor and the Really Useful Party, and Escape and Other Stories, which features Buzz Buzz, or James Goes Buzz Buzz if you're in America. All at Sea, another one of my favourites. One Good Turn, Tender Engines, Escape, Oliver Owns Up. We've got this on this one as well. Bulgy, Heroes, Percy, James and the Fruitful Day, and Thomas and Percy's Christmas Adventure. A lot of these they've got some of my favourites on. See, a lot of the season 3 ones, the original ones by the ones that were done by Britt Allcroft and David Mitton, those were some of my favourites. And it's kind of ironic that I say that, as I often say that the series should go on and should adapt more Audrey stuff when I prefer the original stuff done by David Mitton and Britt Allcroft. I wonder what that says about me. Anyway, next is All New Adventures of Thomas and Friends, which is basically the narrow gauge engines. You've got Grandpa, Sleeping Beauty, Bulldog, A Bad Day for Sir Handel, Trucks, Lost, Home at Last, Rock and Roll, and Special Funnel. So they're all narrow gauge engine stories. Then this one, the cover's gone missing, but this one is Thomas Stepney and Other Stories. So this has got this one introduces the Stepney. Side note, the episode Rusty to the Rescue, the Reverend Audrey hated that one due to the fact it really mistold Stepney's backstory. In this one, Rusty saves Stepney when, I agree with him, it should have been that he was just saved by the Bluebell Railway. Now, this one, which is black, which is this brown one, this is something that is kind of rare. It's a Guild Home Video Thomas cassette. This is cassette 1. One of Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends. One of the first released. one of the first, one of two that were released. This has got some of the. This is among the first of the Thomas VHSs. This is the oldest in our collection. Then ones that we bought later on. I think this was one we bought later on, which was Time for Trouble in Other Stories. Again, season 3. You have A Scar for Percy, Percy's Promise, Time for Trouble, Gordon and the Famous Visitor. That's twice we've got that one. Donald's Duck, Thomas Gets Bumps, Thomas Percy and the Dragon, and Diesel Does It Again. Then I think these two from season 5. We've got Spooks and Surprises, which has Horrid Laurie, Gordon and the Gremlins, Haunted Henry, Toby's Discovery, Thomas and the Rumours, A Surprise for Percy, Duncan Gets Spooked, Snow, and Rusty and the Boulder. Side note, season 5, everybody says that there's all these explosions and crashes. Season 5 is the most Jerry Anderson inspired series, and I'm guessing it's an homage because David Mitton worked as a visual effects person for Jerry Anderson on Thunderbirds, Captain Scarlet, Joe 90, and UFO. Then there's this one, which is Happy Holidays, which has got Sir Topham Hatt's Holiday. I really love the Toon Critic Y2K's redub of that. You should see it. Just type in "Can Catch a Break, a Fat Man." Then there's a Better View for Gordon. That one is by George, which is actually pretty mediocre for the other stuff in this series in season 5. Toby and the Flood. Oh, good grief, is that? I couldn't really watch those. I couldn't really watch a lot of these when I was young because they'd scare me half to death. Oliver's Find and Making Someone Happy. And then it's got 3 songs. Percy's Seaside Trip, Come for a Ride, and Harold the Helicopter. And I think this was the last one that we got, The Fogman and Other Stories, which is season 6. We haven't got any of season 7. This includes The Fogman, No Sleep for Cranky, Salty's Secret, Harvey to the Rescue, A Bad Day for Harold the Helicopter, Elizabeth the Vintage Lorry, Twin Trouble, Gordon Takes a Tumble, and the song Winter Wonderland. So these are all the VHS that I've got. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 that have all got Thomas. That's all Thomas. I have got other VHSs that have got episodes of Thomas the Tank Engine in them, but they're not all about Thomas. Now, for a little something extra on the side, as the song Master of the House, plus a little extra on the side. Tugs. Which, this was the VHS that first introduced me to Tugs. And I will say, it is a great series. It's a kind of damaged, but still, beggars can't be choosers. Says, from the producers of Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends, Tugs. And it's got Trapped, Ghost, High Winds, and 4th of July. Trapped is my favourite episode, as it's the first one I saw. I've memorised the whole thing. If you've watched the Tugs response through James Fan 1991, I think, you've probably seen me try and do impersonations. Now, Ghosts. Now, the episode Ghost. Good grief. I was scared of this whenever this VHS was on because of that stealing Ghost. It scared me half to death. A lot like season 5 then. Season 5 of Thomas and Friends. But that's what we've got on videos that are related to David Mitton. We did have Well, speaking of stuff that's related to David Millen, we did record a lot of the reruns of Thunderbirds, but those are on recordable VHSs and they've been thrown away. Still, that's all I've got for this video. So I'll see you when the next video project comes out. Don't know if it's I'm not sure if it's going to be a vlog or it's going to be a new video. I've got a few planned. Haven't really, at time of recording, I haven't really gotten the majority of them started. But this is King of New Anglia signing out.